Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Believe in Action podcast. We're at episode 10. I can't believe it. I am Michelle West, coach, performer, and founder of Be in Nutrition. And I am here with
Coach Emily.
And Coach Megan.
And around here, we don't just believe in change. We believe in taking action to make it happen because at BIA, we know that initiative plus action equals change. So let's get into it. Hey, ladies, how y'all doing today? Happy Friday.
Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Hey. This week went by so quickly.
Yeah, it did go by fast, right?
Yeah, I thought it did.
Tell us about your last 7 days, Emily.
I don't know. This week just went by so fast. I'm like, what happened over the last 7 days? I feel like I just kind of blinked and then here we are. But
what had happened?
I don't know. I think it was just a normal week, just lots of calls, client check-ins. My clients are doing really well, like so many epic results that I'm, always sharing those wins with you guys. I'm like, look at how everybody's killing it. Like this week was just like, I was noticing so many wins. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So I think that was the highlight.
That's amazing. I love our little Slack channel that we're going back and forth and showing all the wins. And Coach Megan was like, Michelle, you don't show any of yours. And Emily, stop showing yours, but Michelle, show yours and let's see. Oh my gosh. The one thing that I want to remind people too is like when we're showing these transformations and people are showing their transformations in the chat, which ignited it was one of our clients that posted that their before and after, and then another client posted their before and after, another client with that. It's more so of the time thing, because I think that people see these before and afters and they're just like, oh my God, like how did they get to this? Where did they start? Where are they at now? And it's just like, nothing will beat consistency in time with consistency. Nothing will beat it. And if you give yourself the amount of time to be able to put in the work, then you will see the fruits of your labor. And, Coach Megan, just joined with us. You know what I mean? We Coach Megan is fairly new. So most of the clients that she is having right now literally have been with us only like 3-4 months, maybe going into more month 5 here. And we're just Coach Megan's clients are just not at that point to be able to get these epic transformations versus where Coach Emily's clients were starting with us in 2024 or 2023. And I think that is a big testament of like showing like where they were before and really just making sure that we're staying true to time is always going to be your friend. So that's why I was very clear in that Slack channel when, because this can set off like some like fear of intimidation. I think some like, what is it called? What am I thinking of? Imposter syndrome of like where you're at from other people. And this is why I was very clear in the Slack channel when we were doing that about like this client started with me in 2023. It's 2025 now. So yes, it's been 12, 13, 14 months. This client started with me at 2022, but she was with me when she started at 300 and something pounds. Yeah, that's the reason why she's at this place now in 2025. You know what I mean? So time is always going to be our friend. And I want to encourage people that this is whether you're a coach or whether you're someone that's looking for a transformation. The time that you put in is really what matters here. You got to be careful of time and making sure that you're not putting yourself in a bad situation where you're looking at somebody else's transformation and being like, oh, well, that was quick, fast. Most likely it wasn't. Most likely it took some time. So the wins of where, we're putting in the Slack channel, all in all, are amazing. And the fact that the clients are feeling comfortable enough to share their transformations is beautiful. And I want that. And I want it really just sparked, most of our clients, it sparked our other clients who are just starting this journey to be like, oh my gosh, that inspires me. I want to be that person too. Now, if you have that forward thinking mindset of like, who do I want to be? I want to be that person. Now they're going to start showing up because they know that people that are in the chat be like, stick to it. BIA is the way. Just follow your coaches and you will get to just follow what they say and you will get to where you need to be. That's the most important thing. So yeah, you're killing it, Coach Emily.
Thank you.
Yes.
And Megan, I can't wait to see where you're going to be at at the end, you know what I mean? At the end of the year, in January, February, that's where we're going to really see them transformations. It's going to be like, bruh. And I can't wait. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, my transformations, are just body recomp and they're insane. And I'm like, dude, we're not even at a sculpt. Like,
we're not even at a sculpt.
What? Yeah,
it's amazing. I love seeing your transformations. The transformations are beautiful, and the community that you've been able to build and the friendship that you've been able to build with your clients is so great.
I love them.
So, the love that we have for our clients is unmatched here, and the fact that we're gonna, we're continuing to learn and grow. And people, there was multiple people at the Power Hour, the Kelly Power Hour today, which was excellent. I was like more people than ever. So it is growing, and it makes me so proud every single time that we have these things and we see the wins and we see the clients showing up, that we're all here for a reason. So Coach Emily, the week went by fast, but the wins are winning.
Yes, I think that's why it went by so quickly, because there were just so many wins. I was like, I'm just focused on that. So
I love it. Coach Megan, how was your last 7 days? How's everything going?
Yeah, everything's been going great. Really great week. Yeah, good. I felt like got a lot done. Phoenix had her first little like stage performance singing situation this morning. Man. And you guys, she's like our little Bia baddie. Like she wants to perform so bad. It's the weirdest thing. Cause obviously we have the stage stuff too, but she's asked for the stage over. I can't wait to be on stage. Aww. So she did so good. It was so cute. Her little song and her hand gestures. So that was a big win.
Well, look, all you got to do, if she wants to do performing and she wants to, whatever, you got a whole clan. You got Auntie
I'm in the right place.
Literally.
Right?
You got Auntie Shelly over here that will tell her what she needs to know. Okay.
Yep.
And then you got the whole Be a Baddie clan who are all performers who are doing this.
Yeah, the connections are stupid at this point.
You literally, you've made yourself to the right place. Phoenix, you gonna be all right, baby girl. You gonna be all right. I love that.
You're gonna perform.
Mm-hmm. She just wants to be on stage. She said, "Put me on the stage." That's how I was when I was younger too. Mm-hmm. Yep, I love it. How was my last 7 days? I traveled to Chattanooga, Tennessee. That was fun. That's right. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, looking at some stuff, looking at some homes. Possibly a relocation could happen there. We will see. So nothing set in stone yet. So we will see what the look is for that. But I am actually happy to not be traveling for the next couple of weeks. Matt will be traveling for the next couple of weeks because he has a lot of gigs that he's doing. He's actually down in Virginia right now. But for me, I am staying put in Fort Lee, New Jersey. And my next travel will be Columbus, Ohio. I'll be going there in October. And then I'm going to one of our baddies' weddings, which I've been getting her ready for, which we're excited about. That's going to be in El Paso, Texas. So that'll be my first time going to El Paso. I've never been to El Paso, Texas before. I don't actually recommend anybody go because the flights getting there is terrible. But we gonna find out what's there, okay? So that's what I'll tell you how El Paso goes once I go.
Let us know.
All right, but the wedding, I'm excited for the wedding. That'll be fun. I love weddings. All right, so this episode of the podcast, we are going to talk about the myths that we hear about carbohydrates, okay? So we did the podcast on protein, we did the podcast on fats, and now we're going to hit a podcast about carbs. And I don't want to do it as a regular podcast of like, this is what a carbohydrate is, because I think we all kind of know what carbs are. Yep. I think we know what they provide. I think that we know why they're so important. I would just want to kind of hit some of the myths that we hear out there in the world about carbs and kind of bust those myths and why we encourage carbohydrate usage here at Be a Nutrition. I'm here it all the time too, within the bodybuilding world too. Like bodybuilders love carbs because that's the way they're going to build muscle. Okay. That's how we're going to look full on stage. We want carbs. So I want to start off with, some myths that you all heard. I'm going to pass this to Coach Megan first. What are some of the myths that you hear? Give me one thing that you hear about carbohydrates that you want to like myth bust right now on this podcast.
Because there's so many.
There are so many, and we're gonna try to cover a lot of them because they're popping up in my head. I feel like I should be taking some notes, but go ahead.
Right. Okay. I think like one of the biggest ones is like low carb is the only way to lose weight. And people don't realize that if you cut out any of the macros, you're gonna lose weight because you're in a caloric deficit.
Correct.
I mean, I've known people who go like, do the baked potato diet or whatever, the potato diet.
I've heard that.
And it's literally just potatoes. You don't eat any protein or any fat, it's just like potatoes.
Okay.
You can lose weight, but of course you cut out the other macros. Yeah. So it's not that it's the carb that is low carb causing you to lose weight. It's you're, again, in a caloric deficit. That's probably like one of the most common, and people can't get over that hurdle, especially when we're as coaches adding in more carbs and really making sure we talk to them and continue to trust the process, educate them, give them the science behind it. All of that is really important. And 10 out of 10 times that people are like, oh, I'm eating more carbs, I'm not getting fat. What?
Incredible. What? Carbs don't make me fat? What?
Crazy.
Insane. So literally, just a recap of that is just like, you need to be in a caloric deficit to be able to see any type of fat loss or body fat loss. Okay. So it doesn't matter what macro you go down on. You can go down on protein. You can go down on fats. You can go down on carbs. If you are in a caloric deficit, if you are burning more energy than what you are consuming, you will lose body fat. And that's essentially what we want to get to, and put you there for a little bit so we can see those results. But eventually we want to get your calories back up so that you are feeling good. You're energetic. The metabolism is going, all of the things. So it really, the macronutrient does not matter. Now, as a coach, I'm not going to put you on a very low fat diet. I'm not going to put you on a very low carb diet. I'm not going to put you on a very low protein diet. I want to see an even amount of, macros throughout the week so that we can power all of the systems that we need to, that we've talked about so much about on this podcast. But yes, usually when you see those low carb diets and people are like, oh, well, I lost like 5 pounds in a week. No, it's because you decrease the amount of carbs. Therefore, you decrease the amount of water that you're holding. So that's why you see that fast weight loss, but usually you're just losing water by the end of the week. And then most of the time when people are low carb, because people love carbs so much, they can't hold on to that diet. They don't want to stick to it. They don't want to stick to the low carb diet. So they see a donut and then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, I miss carbs. Let's go for the donut. And I'm like, great. You just ate like 50 grams, more than that, probably like 200 grams of carbs for that donut. Times that by 4. Right. Now you just now you're holding on to all this water, and that's why you think like, we're heading in the other direction. But it really doesn't matter about the macro. The macro doesn't matter for sure. Yeah. That's good. Awesome. What about you, Coach Emily? What's a myth that you hear?
One thing that I hear is carbs just don't work for me, right? It's like carbs work for everyone, but like what kind of carbs are you eating, right? Like what kind of carbs are we talking about? Are we talking about refined carbs like, Gushers and, stuff like that, pizza, or are we talking about fruit and potatoes? You know what I mean? And so a lot of people associate like carbs with junk food, but then they forget that like fruit is actually a carb and we need carbs. So it's just so funny when people say that, oh, carbs don't work for me. But then I'm like, so how's your digestion? And they're like, yeah, so I only poop like 3 times a week. It's like, you do realize that the majority of your fiber is going to come from your carb sources. So tell me again how carbs don't work for you, right? It's crazy.
Correct. That I want to myth bust that right now, because people think that fruit, they don't classify fruit and vegetables as carbohydrates, and I'm like, right, those are carbohydrates. Yep. Fruits and vegetables are a carb. So it's so funny when people say like, I am on a no carb diet, and I'm like, do you eat fruit and vegetables? And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, you're on a carb diet. You eat carbs. If you ate a banana today, you're eating carbs. Yeah. And then carbohydrates. This is why I say like carbohydrates, you can find them anywhere. It's very easy to get a carb. It's very easy to find fruit. It's very easy to find a vegetable somewhere. It's very easy to find potatoes. It's very easy to find rice. But you go into, now you're in another subcategory of carbohydrates, which is candy, potato chips, donuts, cookies, cakes, all of that stuff. And now you got your ultra processed foods, which are all usually carbohydrates. So carbs are everywhere, y'all. Carbs are everywhere. And it's so funny, the people who say that like carbs don't work for me, but yet they're slamming tortilla chips.
Right.
And full sugar soda. I'm like, what are you doing? Diet exists. That's amazing that we can think that full sugar soda is okay. And it's just like fine to have. It's like there's a diet version.
Let's myth bust that too. Carbs, so sugar is a carb.
Sugar is a carb, and it's in a lot of drinks.
Okay. So you over here drinking soda, and you talk about carbs don't work for you. Huh? We drinking soda. That's a carbohydrate. What's going on? Look at the back of your package. There's no protein, usually low fat, high in carbohydrates. That's insane. That's a good myth. I love that. Anything else before I go? What other myths did y'all hear?
There's carbs after like 7 o'clock, after a certain amount of time from the day, which again, just goes back to just eating them at nighttime doesn't magically make you unfat if you are not eating them. It goes back again. And most of these myths are going to go back to caloric intake, caloric intake, caloric intake. That's what it comes down to.
Yep. Sometimes people actually do. I've seen both sides of this. Some people actually do really well with eating some carbohydrates before they go to bed because it helps them go to sleep.
I do. I always have to eat really close to bed. Always.
Helps them sleep. Then I've seen the opposite side where if someone eating too many carbs, too high sugar, specifically usually it's high sugar carbs. If you're eating high sugar carbs before you go to bed, it disrupts sleep patterns. Hopefully seen both of those. Do y'all experience that? Do you feel as though, Emily, do you experience that? Like if you eat carbs too close to bed, that it disrupts your sleep or anything like that? Have you ever experienced that before?
So I usually just don't eat close to bed just because my acid reflux tends to flare up if I eat close to bed, because then when I lay down, the gravity kind of messes things up. So I don't usually do that, but there have been times where I did just because I had to for my schedule. It didn't really affect my sleep, but the acid reflux, if it's, affecting my sleep, then that would affect it. But I don't find that really makes a huge difference for me if I had to do it, as far as tiredness and stuff like that.
For sure. Absolutely. I see this on a case-by-case basis usually. For Matt specifically, if he eats a lot of high sugar carbs, it's very hard for him to go to sleep. It literally keeps him up at night. Me, I will eat at 11 o'clock my rice cake and my chocolate and my 2 yogurts and be knocked out. It don't disrupt my sleep at all. I just don't get, I've always been a good sleeper though. I've always been a good sleeper. What about you, Megan? You said it disrupts it helps you go to sleep?
Yeah, I have to, because I just can't, especially for my migraines. And this is another thing with migraines too. A migraine people, more women prone to headaches. You actually, especially when you have an attack, I'll increase my carbs because it helps a lot. You can't go super low and that blood sugar drops. So that's another reason why I'll have a good amount of either a healthy carb, I won't do a cookie, healthy carb or even healthy fat or a combo of 2 before I go, which sounds like rice cake, nut butter. That's a good go-to.
Yeah.
Right before I go to bed. And then I sleep much better and I won't wake up with a headache.
Nice. I love that. Yeah. That's amazing. The other thing that I want to tie on to this myth too is that I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, if I eat, we get fat from if we eat carbs, and they step on the scale and maybe they had a very high amount of carbs the previous day, but then they step on the scale the next day and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm fatter. Right. On the scale. And I'm just like, baby girl, you just ate some more carbs. Therefore, you're just holding on to a little bit more water the next day. That's what's happening. So just for everyone, for you to know here who you are listening to this podcast, for every 1 gram of carb that you eat, you are also obtaining 4 grams of water. So do the math. If you're eating more carbs one day, you're going to be holding on to a little bit more water. So usually what you're seeing there is that water intake that's going higher and that water intake that's going lower. That's the one thing that I see when I put my clients through a deficit and I'm using usually carbohydrates and fats and going lower on that. When they see that really quick response of water going, the scale going down, most of the time it's water intake. Sometimes I'll even see the opposite. I'll actually see you take your carbs and your fats down and actually the scale will spike. which is very interesting. And I honestly, that's just a stress response. It's a stress response of the body of being like, what are you doing? Why are you taking my food away from me? I'm going to hold on to everything. And I had a client who actually experienced that this week. I put her through, we're starting our sculpting phase this week. And after this week, she was stepping on a scale every single day. And she's like only seeing the scale go up, go up, go up. And I was like, baby girl, she's like, I'm so mad at my progress. The scale is going up. And I said, and this week, what I want you to do is actually don't take your weight on the scale for me. I want you to just follow the plan, and we'll see where we're at next week. And I'm pretty sure what we're going to see is that scale is going to go right back down to where we need it to be, even lower. Have y'all experienced that with the clients before?
Literally this week. Mine typically will be like, okay, it's up, especially when we go right into the sculpt, right? Like you said, it'll go up, and I literally be like, cool, get on the scale tomorrow. They'll message me tomorrow. Okay, you're right. It went back down. I'm like, yeah. We can't just go off of one day.
One day.
But it works.
Got anything, Emily?
Yeah, I was actually just talking with a client about this because she had her first week in her sculpting phase and her weight stayed exactly the same. And it had actually gone up before we started the sculpting phase and it hadn't come back down. So she was like, feeling frustrated, like, am I doing something wrong? Like, why is this happening? And I was like, no, this is actually super normal. Happens to lots of my clients all the time. And she was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Like, this was actually a thing. Like, I'm so relieved, like, that I'm not doing something wrong. And I was like, yeah, absolutely not. Like, this happens all the time. So I think that there's a lot of like liberation in learning that like this stuff is normal and that you're not like broken or you're not like, mistaking your tracking or something like that. I think it can be helpful to just know that this stuff is like actually very normal.
Yep, absolutely. Other thing that I wanted to talk about is that the difference between a carbohydrate, the way that we process carbohydrates, right? The way that you process ultra processed food versus the way that you process a fruit or a vegetable, or maybe a potato or anything like that. This is like your single ingredient foods, whole foods. When my coach said this to me, it literally just opened up the whole world for me to being like, you know what? That's true. He said to me, if you take a cookie, right? A cookie that is full of flour, gluten, or it takes a lot of ingredients to make that cookie. And you put it next to a kiwi, because y'all, I'm going to just use kiwi as an example because y'all know I eat the kiwis every day. Okay. A kiwi a day keeps the doctor away. Anyway, you have a cookie, you have a kiwi. And what he said to me is just that even though, like, even say if I even use the example of eating 3 kiwis versus 1 cookie, and the caloric intake could be exactly the same, the amount of carbs can be exactly the same between these 2 things, but the way that your body is going to process the cookie over the 3 kiwis is going to be insanely different. So it just shows you how our bodies do have a response to sugar, flour, wheat, gluten, butter, dairy, all of these things that can show inflammation markers. Now, I don't want anybody on this podcast to be afraid of inflammation because there's some inflammation that's actually good inflammation, right? This is us going to the gym and actually causing an inflammatory response. We do want to cause inflammation from the gym because that's going to help us build muscle. That's why we take the rest days so that we can bring inflammation down, we can repair, the body can do what it needs to do. So taking those rest days, going to sleep, all of that stuff brings inflammation down. That's what we want to see. But if you compare these 2 things, like the fruit versus the kiwi, the fruit versus the cookie, the way that the body responds to that cookie is just going to be way different than it responds to the kiwi, because the kiwi is full of minerals, nutrients, fiber, and it's going to keep you fuller, right? It literally, like I said, it takes 4 kiwis to be the same caloric density or the same caloric intake as the 1 cookie. And I don't know about you all, but I can destroy a cookie. I don't think I'd be able to destroy 4 kiwis like that. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'd be like, I'm going to have 4 kiwis today. No one does that. This is the same thing of like potatoes versus the potato chips. Yeah, baby girl, don't put a bag of Sun chips in front of me, Harvest cheddar,
So bomb.
It's over. Emily, have you had the Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips?
No, I've just had the original because I haven't had them since I was vegan. So when I was vegan, I had the original ones because they're vegan, but I've not had the cheddar. I'll have to try that once I can introduce dairy back into my diet because they sound good.
I hate to do this to you because I know that this is probably going to ruin your life forever, because if you start trying it, then you're going to be like, why did Michelle have me try it? Because these are freaking bomb. The Sun Cheddar Sun Chips are dangerous. I will destroy the entire bag. I can't get a big bag because the whole bag will be gone. You the same way, Megan?
Oh, yeah.
The whole bag.
Yeah, top of the line.
Top of the line. The whole bag will be gone. Compared to if I ate the amount of potatoes. If I took 5 potatoes, boiled them, Johns, and put that, slicing them up, I'll be like, wow, this is a lot of potatoes. The same amount of potatoes. Like, I'm not going to eat 5 potatoes versus compared to a bag of Sun Chips. I'm eating those. Those is going down.
Yeah, my chips of choice are the sweet Maui onion kettle chips. Those are so good.
Those are good too. Good too.
I've never had them.
They're good. Very addictive.
So let us not start anything, about like, let's go find this chip that we need to eat. But, every once in a while, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to scare tactic anybody else too, because those fun foods, those fun carbohydrates are okay every once in a while. Do I like cookies? Yes. Do I like Sun Chips? Yes. I just told you I can't have them in my house. Do I like those fun foods? Yes. But you don't see me eating them all the time, because I know for myself that overconsumption of them is to the rooftops. Like, I am going to overconsume them. So that's why I love when I go on a flight and I get my little bag of Sun Chips and I get my little taste and then call it a day. That's when I save it for my cheddar Harvest Sun Chips. So just the process of the foods and how we as humans, how the human body processes these different foods, I think is important to highlight. And it just makes you be like, oh yeah, that's interesting. I'm aware of that. Like, if I'm continuously pumping my body with inflammation markers or, inflammatory foods, then my body is going to respond to that. But the way that your body responds to you eating a kiwi or eating an apple, it is not going to be the same way unless you have a kiwi allergy or an apple allergy. You know what I mean? So I just thought that was really interesting. Have y'all ever thought about that before? Of like the way you take in food?
And I think that's part of the beauty of macros. I think a lot of people think, we track macros for physique purposes, but especially like all of us, you, me, Emily, like we use it for like way more beyond that, especially when it comes to digestion. Like, I had a client the other day that was like, Meg, what's going on? Like, I felt my stomach was aching so bad. But I went to the gym, worked out, I feel much better. And I looked at her macros and I was like, oh, well, we've had corn for literally like 4 meals in a row. Like, I guarantee that's it, because that's going to be a lot harder to digest that amount for multiple days. And being able to like tap in and tune to your body and then ask your coach, okay, I noticed this. And then we can look, because we've done this a million times and we can tell you. I mean, same with the low fiber or the low carb tortillas, Michelle.
I was just about to, let's talk about it.
Right? That was another one that was like, I'm really bloated. I looked and I instantly knew and was like, cool, that's it. Cut it out. Okay, we're good now. So that's the beauty, and 100% totally notice that. I know Emily does too with her clients.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit, Emily, on what we should be aware of for the low carb specific foods that we see at the grocery store. Let's go ahead and bust that one.
Yeah, so first of all, let me just start out by saying that the calories on that are fake. So you're like, oh my gosh, like I get all this food, this like big bagel, like you get this big ass bagel for 80 calories, what a steal, but not really, because if you look at the calories and you actually do the math, like if you see that for every gram of carbohydrate is well, I messed that up. For every 1 gram of carbohydrate is 4 calories. Same goes for protein, and then fats is 9. So if you add all that up, you do all the math, the calorie number it's going to give you is so much bigger. It's probably going to be like 200 or 300 calories. So then you look at the label and you're like, okay, but why is this 80 calories? So then you want to scroll down a little bit and see that fiber content, because what they're doing is they're actually subtracting the fiber because they're trying to give you the net carbs. But net carbs are BS. And I know they say like, well, yeah, but like your body doesn't absorb a certain amount and stuff like that. But like you actually don't know how much your body is or isn't absorbing. And also the quality of that carb is terrible because it's attached with all of this synthetic fiber and it's going to wreck your gut. So it's going to make you feel bloated and just not your best. And so my thing is like, just go for the real thing. You know what I mean? Like you're better off going for the real thing and fitting it into your macros. And, you know, instead of maybe getting a huge burrito tortilla, like just get some of the mini corn tortillas and then you can have like 3 of them for the same macros.
That's perfect. I love that. Just go for the real thing. For sure. And stay away from those low carb things. And knowledge is power. Knowledge about food is power. Flip over the packages. See what's going in there. And I challenge you to look at the ingredients list. And I challenge you to look at if there's anything on there that you feel as though that you can't pronounce or you see that those fibers are insane. It's something to just rethink, to be like, should I really be putting that in my body? What should be happening there? What's going on with that? So it's just something it's just an interesting thing when you start diving into that food knowledge. And I will tell you this, y'all, and we probably could end the podcast on this. Ultra processed foods are out here to get us. I was at the grocery store yesterday. I went to the grocery store yesterday because Matt left and I was like, oh, we got to go to the grocery store because I have nothing in this house and you're about to take the car away from me for 4 days. So if I don't go to the grocery store and get everything there, I'm screwed. And he was like, yeah, we should do that. So we go to the grocery store and I'm in the checkout line and where they sell like all the candies and everything like that. They put that there strategically before you check out so that you could get some of the ultra processed food. And I was looking at these gummy worms and they have these gummy worms. There's a new, I forget what the name of the product was, but they're literally putting on the candy like that you can have this entire bag of candy for this many calories, so low calories, so like 120 and 40 grams of carbs for the entire bag. But they're putting on the bags now like safer for guts, safer for your gut health. And I was like, They're putting it on the bags of candy. And I was like, not safer for gut health. And it's like low sugar, the sugar that you're getting from fruits, vegetables, and, no artificial flavors and stuff like that. Like the marketing for processed foods is literally hearing y'all and putting it on the packaging because y'all are worried about all of these different things. And the marketing on the processed food, they're like, okay, we hear what y'all saying. Like, you don't want no artificial dyes. Okay, gotcha. You want no gut health. We're going to put it on this package of candy. Right? Isn't that insane? Where it's just like, you want better gut health? Go get a kiwi.
Yes.
You want to poop? Go get some apples and some kiwis. Go get some raspberries. That literally don't have to package anything that says like better for your gut health. No, it's just a kiwi and it's gonna serve you much better. It's so insane. Have y'all seen anything like that? Have y'all seen like packaging like that in the grocery store that are like?
Well, I think even the gut health soda stuff. I'm like,
my God.
I mean, sure, it tastes good and it doesn't have as much sugar, but I'm like, you guys, like the artificial sweeteners are not good for your gut. So I'm like, I don't really know why but yeah, that one has always been like,
The girlies be on it. When the poppy sodas came out, it was all the rage. Probiotic, prebiotic. Solve my gut issue. I'm like, a soda? Take a shot of apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
You could get a whole bottle of apple cider vinegar for cheaper, and you can take a shot of that. I'll tell you, your gut health would be much more along.
Yeah, and sometimes probiotics for certain types of gut issues can actually make them worse because there's so many different types of probiotics. So it's like you don't want to just blindly take something.
Oh, man, it's incredible. I feel like we have to do a podcast
gut
on
health.
The gut health and supplements. Oh my God. The amount of supplements that I see people taking, and I'm just like, did you get that from the CVS and just on the counter and you're just whatever? You just said, oh, probiotic. Just should take it. Multivitamin. Should take that. I'm like, dang, the education that we have out here is very lackluster, and we have to do something to be able to inform people about that. But that we'll save that. That's another podcast for another day.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. Well, we'll go ahead and end it on that. I hope that everyone felt good about this podcast talking about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are your friend, everyone. They are your energy source. They are how you're going to live from day to day. They are your thyroid support. No one talks about that. Like, carbohydrates power the thyroid, y'all. It gets it going. So if you keep doing low carb dieting all the time, your thyroid is going to be affected, period. You will see a downregulation of thyroid once you start dieting. You honestly see that feedback loop, and within a week of starting the diet, you see your thyroid start to drop. So that's the reason why we keep carbs as high as we possibly can, so we can power that thyroid, because that's your metabolism right there. So we want that. We want you to be thriving and feeling good and having the energy to be able to go to the gym even while you're dieting, so we can build muscle, all of the things. So yeah, carbs are good for you. Yeah. Anything else to add, ladies?
I'm going to go eat my carbs.
Period.
Same. That's all I got.
I'm gonna do some cardio, because I didn't do my cardio this morning. I walked Brody, so I'm gonna go do some cardio. But I appreciate you both. You both are the best. Thank you. I have the best team. I said that on my Instagram this week, and I feel that way every single day. You all are the best. Thank you for doing this. And everyone, thank you so much for listening to the Believe in Action podcast. Listen to where all your streaming services will take you. Leave a comment, and also hit us up at beanutrition.com if you are interested in coaching one-on-one with either Coach Emily or Coach Megan, or you have any questions for me. I'm always here to help. Talk to y'all soon. Let's end on that. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.